A very good evening to one and all. Welcome back to the today's session. Today's our guest speaker name is Dr. Sujata Choudhury, ma'am, Research Officer, Scientist, Drug Proving Research Unit, Bhubaneswar, under CCRH, New Delhi, Ministry of Ayush, Government of India. We welcome you, ma'am. We welcome you all the participants. So today's session will be regarding how to write a case study. So hope you'll all enjoy the session. So over to you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. So, good evening again to everyone. It's my very great pleasure to welcome all of you, the enthusiastic undergraduate students, focused postgraduate students, and dedicated PhD scholars. So, to this webinar, how to write case studies or case reports. So, I sincerely thank the organizer for this opportunity. It's truly encouraging to see such a diverse academic audience interested in learning art and science of writing case studies. So, whether you are just beginning your academic journey or pursuing any advanced research or engaged in clinical practice, case studies are powerful tools. So, they allow us to observe, reflect, document, and real world experiences that can inform theory, practice, and further researches in this evidence based era of medical science. And case studies serve as both a learning method and a way to contribute to our scientific literature. So, what are case studies? What are case studies or case reports? First, we will know that case reports are a time honored, important, integral, and accepted part of the medical literature from Hippocrates and even arguably further back since the papyrus records of ancient Egyptian medicine 1600 BC to modern all specialties have described interesting cases involving all specialists. So those case reports are the time honored and important part of our medical literature. So published case reports provide essential information for optimal patient care because they can describe important scientific observations that miss or undetected in clinical trials and provide individual clinical insight. So thus these are expanding our knowledge base. Case studies are also an invaluable record of the clinical practices of a profession. So while case studies can provide specific guidance for the management of successive patients, if one case of a particular disease is cured by some medicine, so that cannot be applied to every such cases. So in those cases, in that aspect, they are a record. These case records are a record of clinical interactions which help us to frame questions for more rigorously designed for the clinical studies basing upon that one case. So case studies also provide valuable teaching materials, all type of research including clinical trials, health services, research, cohort studies, and case studies are contributing to an evolving evidence-based medicine. So some importance of case studies in homeopathy. Why the case study is important in homeopathy, not only in homeopathy, but also in other streams also. So some key reasons are like knowledge sharing and education. Here we can illustrate real life applications of theories. Mm. So why the case studies or case reports or recording of these case studies, publishing these case studies are important in homeopathy, not only in homeopathy but also in other sciences, other systems also. So for knowledge sharing and education, documenting unique and rare events in homeopathy, the recording of rare presentations, innovative solutions and unusual outcomes. It provides insight into individualized treatment as homeopathy provides and patient responses. So it also highlights lesser unknown remedies and valuable clinical experiences in for evidences, and it also improves practice and decision making process because it forms a bridge between clinical practice and researches. And for the main approach is evidence generation in fields like homeopathy, where individualization is the key cornerstone. Case studies offer valuable quantitative evidence for evidence-based study, and it also can support the development of hypotheses for future research protocols. And it also helps in building credibility and effectiveness of impact of a method or product or treatment. So, who should write case studies? So you might ask that can I write case studies as an undergraduate or postgraduate or a PhD students? So for every level, there are case studies. How we can improve our writing capacity. So in undergraduate level, at this level, case studies help you uh, that sharpen observation skills, learn the art of patient communication, record keeping, and develop your clinical reasoning also. So even a basic case with well documented symptom and thoughtful prescription can also be a valuable contribution to the science. For postgraduates at this level, what happens? Now, these case studies become a medium to showcase deeper clinical judgment, more deeper than the undergraduate level. So, reflect on the process of reputation and remedy selection, and it also explores comparative evaluation of remedies, prepare of future publications, and when PhD scholars or for researchers, case studies offer insight into the um, lesser studied remedies or pathologies support more deeper than the postgraduate level. So it supports for qualitative or mixed method research opportunities. There are opportunities to publish in peer-reviewed journals because the publication of case reports has indeed become a standard lexicon of the medical literature. So also it ways to strengthen evidence for specific homeopathic approaches. So in different levels, we can changes or you can strengthen our writing ability. And case studies are also a valuable contribution to the academic literature surrounding topics and are an especially useful way to continue to hand on traditional knowledge that would otherwise have been orally conveyed. And they are a neglected form of communication, communicating clinical findings in complementary and alternative science, and it could be useful as a means of formalizing this knowledge. Additionally, they provide information that may lead to advances and improve patient outcomes. So, how we will select a case for writing a paper? So, how we'll select the cases? Which case we will write, or which case we'll write for the publication? So, selecting a case includes the following criteria. Uh, for this selection, we will ask is at like questions like, does the case represent an unusual or atypical example of a research problem that requires more in-depth analysis? So by asking this question, that does the case represent an unusual, से जो केस हम लोगों ने या हमने सिलेक्ट किया है वो unusual और atypical example of research problem है या in-depth analysis हम लोगों ने वो उसका कर पाया है. And next, does the case provide important insight or illuminate previously hidden problem? अगर पहले से कोई ऐसा प्रॉब्लम हुआ है तो उसका कोई और भी फर्दर इंसाइट हम लोगों ने एनालिसिस किया. Or does the case challenge or offer a counterpoint to prevailing assumptions? Or does the case provide an opportunity to pursue action leading to the resolution of a problem? And does the case offer a new direction in the future research? So all this basing upon all these questionnaires, all these ideas. So we can Basic upon these questions only or these criteria only we can select a case for paper publication. So how a well-written case study will be structured? So a well-written case study may encompass the following titles: abstract, introduction, patient information, which covers its personal in data and presenting complaints, history of present complaints, like how we are taking the case. Suppose a patient comes to us, so how we are taking the case on that process also the case study paper it includes personal history, physical, mental, generals, clinical examinations, diagnosis of the case, after that, case analysis, selection of the remedy, prescription, and confirmation of the doses, repetition of the doses, and follow-up outcome, how the results came, improved or not improved, and discussion, conclusion, and what are the key takeaways from the takeaways of the case, and at last references. So these points are included in a well written case study. So we'll go one by one. Am I audible to all?
Absolutely, ma'am.
Yes, yes. Okay, thank you. So first comes title. So the title page will contain the full title of the article. So I will show you one example at last. So the content full title of the article. A title which is vague or non-specific may not attract any attention for searching. Thus, the title should contain phrase, case study, case report, or case series like this will take the title. So the two most common format of title are nominal and compound. In nominal title, what happens? A single phrase, like for example, a case study of hypertension which responded to spinal manipulation. So this is only a nominal title. And in another form, a compound title also we can form for this, that response of hypotension to spinal manipulation, a case study. So which is more to hear or to look good. The compound title is the good one. We'll take this title for the article. So next, author. Who will be the author? So for a single case study, there should not be more than one or two authors. For a single case study, only maximum two authors are eligible. So in order to be listed as an author, so what must be the to an author or as an author, what must be the author should do? A person must have an intellectual stake in the writing. At the very least, they must be able to explain and even defend the article. So who can be an author? That see an intellectual one, and it is the he is the ability to explain and even defend the article, and someone who has only provided technical assistance, as valuable as that may be, but acknowledged at the end of the article. So who or someone, uh, if someone helps in your technical assistant for formatting or any editing the article, so he or she must not be an author. You can acknowledge them at the end of the article, but should not be listed as an author. And in author list, you must give contact information of the authors and should be provided for each author separately. And if there is more than one author must be identified as corresponding author, that all the correspondence regarding the article may be done with the particular author. So if one author means he is the first author and is the corresponding author. But if two authors are writing one article, then one must be the corresponding author. So the person to whom the people should contact if they have questions or comments about the study. So after author, then abstract. Abstract means one summarize, one gist. जो हम जिस्ट बोलते हैं पूरा इलेबोरेटली एक है टॉपिक, उसका हम एब्स्ट्रैक्ट निकालेंगे तो उसका जिस्ट क्या है, जैसे हम लोग पूछते हैं वैसे एक आर्टिकल का एब्स्ट्रैक्ट होता है. So in abstract, what is the abstract? Often the abstract is displayed by a search engine, or on the basis of the abstract, the reader will decide whether or not to download the full article. जब हम आर्टिकल सर्च करते हैं नेट में, तो आप लोगों ने कभी कभी देखा होगा, वो मस्ट बी ट्राइड फॉर सर्चिंग एन आर्टिकल और ड्यूरिंग एनी in some point of time, then you must have seen that only abstract are available. So from abstract also you can decide that this article will be fruitful to me, or will not be required. You can select upon basing upon the abstract also. So in abstract, the abstract may be written as in two forms: a narrative abstract and structured abstract. Narrative abstract means only one paragraph, one short version of the whole paper. There is no headings, no separate headings, only a paragraph within the narrative, like narrations. The author simply tries to summarize the paper into a short story which flows logically. And in another form, that is structured, means there are subheadings like introduction, case study, conclusion, or any methodology. Like subheadings will be there in structured abstract, and structured abstract are becoming more popular and more scientific for any clinical studies or any case studies also. And since there, and it is also validated and standardized also, the structured abstract. So the subheadings like introduction, case presentation, management, and outcome and decision. So under these four headings, we can write our abstract of the article. So along with that, we have to select keywords. Keywords means the keywords provide under which the article will be listed. Means in from the article, if like how we are searching by giving one word, what we are wanting or what we want to search, means we will give one word in Google or in PubMed or in any search engine. So we are searching by words. So that word we want with the exact article. If you select one word, that by giving this one word, or by searching this one word, your article will be visible to others. So those are the keywords. So keywords means only 4 to 5 keywords should be given in an article, and that too which are more relevant for giving for that article. Next, the main portion of the article comes. It starts from introduction. So introduction, what happens? Now, at the beginning it is suggested that there should be a clear idea of what is particularly interesting about the case, and we want to describe. So what is the which is the case we want to describe? What is the idea, or what is the clear? You have to give one clear idea. Suppose we are writing an article or any case studies on a particular disease. So we, in introduction portion, we have to give the what is the disease, overview of the disease, what the causation, what is the etiology, what is the clinical features, what is how it is be diagnosed, and what the most or what is the treatment available for that disease, and what we can give through our case study, and what are the cases already available or already published on that disease, or any research work have been done on that disease. So it is a clear idea about that particular topic. So it is useful to begin by placing a historical background, and if similar cases have been reported previously, likewise I told that any research work or any case study is already reported or already published upon that. So we have to search, we have to give a historical context upon that topic. And if there is something specially challenged about the diagnosis also, we can mention that. So each time whenever a previous study is referred, the reference should be cited. So it is the main thing, and that is the reference. What we are telling reference or bibliography, that we have to cite if we are giving one particular, or we are describing about one study that is previously this study has been um, conducted. So we have to cite that article or cite that paper, that from this source, the source we have to cite. So that is given in the reference list. And the introduction does not need to more than a few paragraphs only, but we have not to describe everything in introduction. We have to short set and a few paragraphs, and including all these aspects. Then case presentation. So here the case presentation, this part of the paper contains complaints of the patient, history taking, results of the clinical examination, diagnosis, and clinical impression of the patient, and the follow-ups and that out no, on the follow-ups. So here the case presentation should be done as per the case record guideline. Like it is told uh, coined as or it is termed as care guideline, CARE, case record guideline, or shortcut care guideline. So what is the care guideline? How we will follow the care guideline while I will writing a or presenting a case? We will know that. So in case recording for background or that is demographic data of the patient, age, gender, occupation, habits, habitat like this, and health, its medical history, its presenting complaint, history of presenting complaint, previous investigations, prior treatments, what he has or she has taken for this particular complaint, its medication history, and then the laboratory investigation, physical examination, diagnosis, treatment, and what are the outcomes and of the treatment. Will all this are encompassed in the case presentation. So in management and outcome, in this section, part will plan for care should be clearly described. So after taking the case, how it will be, how it is managed, and what are the outcomes. This is clearly described in this section. And it is useful to include in this section an indication how and why treatment finished, how you gave treatment, and if you was finished the treatment, then how it is finished and why it is completed, and it is terminated also. The proper justification for each thing will be described. Or if the patient withdraws also, then we can give the cause of the withdrawal. So this is the care guideline. First, it is it is applicable to all, not only to homeopathic, allopathic, ayurvedic, all systems. The care guideline is applicable to all systems. But what are the deviations or what are the more supplements we can give as a homeopath will describe, or I will describe later. I will show you. So this is the common care guideline for all. So first initial patient assessment. In initial patient assessment, presenting complaint, what I have told, I described earlier, patient history, medical history, past history, any comorbidities or any medical chronic illness he is pursuing or he is suffering from, his physical examination, uh, timeline of the treatment, diagnostic evaluations, laboratory investigations, all these are described in initial patient assessment. Then therapeutic intervention. So after taking the case, the therapeutic intervention is decided or fixed, which treatment will be given, and type of intervention, the intervention administration, how it will be administered, dose, all these things in the intervention portion. Then it's the follow-up comes. In follow-up visits and assessment of outcome and in further interventions. So in follow-up visits, the clinician, if the patient comes in second visit, in follow-up visits, what we are seeing, the assessment of the complaints where any new appearance of the symptom or the old symptoms, any old symptoms reappear, or the presenting complaint, what are the what were at the time of first visit were responded or not, or any appearance of new symptoms or any aggravation, for all these conditions where we will access. So in follow-up visits. So this is the case reporting guideline, care guideline. So after that, so I will spare this. For this in homeopathy, so the PPT is visible to all, no? Hello, Dr. Lavanya.
Yes, ma'am. It is visible, ma'am.
Visible, na? So actually the
Yes, ma'am.
in between I skipped some slides. I will come to there later. So after this care guideline, I am directly describing this how this homeopathic portion will supplement to the care guideline. So this, after supplementing this homeopathic portion, this care guideline is known as home care case guideline. Home case care guideline. from homeopathic point of view. So in care guideline, in case history, see in clinical findings, the clinical history details. So in home case guideline, we supplement as clinical history detail homeopathic symptoms used for the decision. So as a homeopath, we require all other or some more informations while taking the case. So those which are relevant for the treatment of the patient or to know the patient or for anamnesis. So we can include that in case of clinical findings or in patient information during case taking. Next, in intervention also, type of which medicine is given and how the it is a how the what is the type of medicine we are giving and how the dose will be fixed and how it will be repeated. So all these things are uh, the process of medication will be supplemented in case of homeopathic principle or in case of homeopathic practice. Potency or any method of route of administration. Next, in follow-up also, the aggravation, the homeopathic aggravation or disease aggravation or medicinal aggravation. So we have to differentiate all these aggravations. So in follow-up, this portion is uh, very much important for us for assessment of the case. So in follow-up or outcome, the objective evidence and occurrence of the homeopathy aggravation, and is there any possible causal attribution of the changes, which is assessed through one Naranjo criteria or modified Naranjo criteria. Through this criteria, we are assessing that is there is a causal attribution from in between the symptoms or the treatment outcome and the medicinal effect. So this is the modified Naranjo criteria for assessing causal attribution of clinical outcome. When after giving the homeopathic medicine for to a patient, the outcome comes. The what is the outcome? Whether aggravation or whether amelioration or any response of the symptoms of the patient, then it will be assessed through this modified Naranjo criteria also. Actually, Naranjo criteria is applicable to for assessing the ADR. ADR means adverse drug reaction. So for this, but modified Naranjo criteria is reformed or to apply or to assess the causal attribution of the clinical outcome and homeopathic intervention. So under this, 10 questions are there for this criteria in this criteria. So from where we can assess that there is the outcome of the treatment is the real cause of the or the medicine is effective in that particular case. So, was there an improvement in the main symptom or condition for which the homeopathic medicine was prescribed? If yes, means after giving the homeopathic medicine, the improvement of the main symptom is the improvement occurs. So if yes means it is plus 2 mark, if no means minus 1. So likewise, so many questions are there which are relevant questions that we can assess the effect of the homeopathic medicine. Then we will establish the relationship of the effect of cause and effect relationship. Okay. So now this is the assessing of outcome and measures. So after that, see the is finished. Now the discussion portion comes. Okay. Discussion. So in discussion in this section, what will write? The significance of case is outlined and critical thoughts, reflections are applied to this case. In discussion portion, we'll write the case outline, significance of the how the medicine or the selection of the medicine, justification, and how this patient responded, and all these critical thoughts will in-depth analysis of the outcome. So it should be contextualized by the current literature. If an outcome comes, this outcome corroborates the in any findings of the literature of what we have searched or what we have identified or what we have got during the literature review or while writing the introduction portion. So the limitation of the case along with their significance in relation to the quality of reporting also need to discussed here. So in discussion also we have to mention the limitations of the case. So what were the limitations of the case? The patient if the patient comes late or the follow up is short or any disturbance in the follow-up, any deviation of the treatment procedure, then can be those are maybe discussed under the discussion section. And the possible reason for the outcome of the case, such as natural history of the disorder or management, or any other factor which is or should be given in this discussion portion. Suggestions also we can mention suggestion or hypothesis that this case suggests this or may be explored further. Like this we can give suggestions regarding the significance or the outcome of the case, and the case may raise clinical questions also, the like hypothesis means we research likewise the research question and possible direction for future research. So we can give suggestions and hypothesis for further future research basing upon the outcome of the case. And now, at conclusion, what we'll write from a well-written case study must end with an appropriate final section in which we should you should summarize the key takeaways. So, from this case, what we have learned, what the key takeaway or take-home message like this, we are telling take-home message. What is the key message it is giving? So that key message has been will be described in conclusion, and what you want others to remember what you and your work does. So the starting and the conclusion of the case study are very important in research analysis. So conclusion for the case study should be important because it gives a lot of attention and should not be neglected since it's the last part of the case study. And the conclusion should also make a recommendation that are necessary. Like in discussion, what we have suggested, in conclusion, we are recommended. And at last, acknowledgement. If someone provide assistance in beginning, I have told that in during author. So if anyone provided you with an assistance with the preparation of the case study, they should be thanked like in acknowledgement and in last of the article. It is neither necessary non-conventional to thank the patient, although we appreciate that they have taught us. We can give some appreciation to the patients also. And before, from ethical point of view, some points are ethical aspects also develop or raised during this case studies. I am coming to that. It would generally be regarded as excessive and inappropriate thank. So much of excessive thankness it should not be given. And tables, if table or figures and photographs are included in the article, means it may be included at the end of the article or manuscript. And all the tables, figures, and photographs are well captioned. That those should not be used for some small amount of data that would be conveyed clearly and briefly in a sentence. If data are small data, then we can write in a sentence also. No need to give in tables or any elaborate ways. And data shown in a table should not be repeated in sentence. If we are giving the values, suppose we are giving on values in tables, that it should not be repeated in sentence also. And captions for each figure should be provided. Photographs, photocopies, or any like X-ray, ultrasound, histopathology, ECG, all these reports or photographs, photocopies, and lab reports, photographs of the lab reports, or any skin photos, or any like what is called as evidence. So those are well captioned. If identifiable people appear in figure, a signed amount from the patient should be submitted to the journal in which the paper is to be published. When we are giving the patient photograph, then we have to give a signed document from the patient that he is she has no objection when it is published. In all other cases, the author must block out any identifiable features of the patient. When the patient or when it is no need to give the identification of the patient, then we can hide that one. So last in references should be listed as described elsewhere in the instructions to authors. Only those references should be used which are read or understood and actually used to support the case study. So references where we are citing the previous study or any material from other sources. So we should mention the source as references and it must be cited in the text. And the consent of the patient, it is the most important one. The consent of the patient is also required to publish the case report. When we are we are publishing a case, then we have to take the consent of the patient that we will tell the patient that we want to publish this case and your identity will not be revealed to anyone and your identity um, ha- will be concealed. Then you can sign a consent form, written in form consent. Then after that you can publish the report. And this one I have already. Uh, this is the one example one. So see, one already published article is there. What way I have highlighted in yellow, you just mark this one. This is the topic: management of epilepsy within. It is a how the topic. What I will tell this topic also. Management of epilepsy with individualized homeopathic medicine practices in medicinal potency and evidence-based case report. So it is the topic. Next, it is the author. Two authors are there, but I've told them in a for a case report, no, only maximum authors may be given. And two. Next abstract is given. See, it is a structured abstract. Introduction and case summary is written. Next, introduction. Next, patient information. Here, all these data of the patient has been given. Clinical findings, his mental general, physical general, diagnostic assessment, all these are described. Next, case analysis. Under case analysis, we have taken the totality of symptom, reportation, seat, then timeline. Timeline means it is the nothing but the follow-up and all this outcome. See, follow-up you can give by or you can present the data in a table also table. The first baseline visit, what are the symptoms, what is the investigation he has done, then what is the treatment or what the medicine is prescribed. Next visit, when the date you mentioned, then what is the symptoms at that visit and what are the if any advice any investigation has advised, then the report and then treatment. So likewise the timeline, the follow-up, all the visits have been presented. Next, it is the Naranjo uh, criteria, monarch criteria, where we have uh, established the cause and effect relationship. That it is the effect of the medicine, not from or not due to any other uh, factor, only for by or the medicine or due to medicine, the effect has the outcome is the outcome is resulted. And the therapeutic intervention after case analysis, the therapeutic intervention, then follow-up and outcome, what it is depicted in timeline table. Then in discussion, it has been written that how this case record of how you have selected the medicine and why the justification of the and if the outcome corroborates any findings of previous any case report or any research what you have described in introduction, then you can mention here in discussion. Then conclusion. In conclusion also we can give suggestions or like suggest a positive role like this. You can suggest or you in a few sentences. Only a small paragraph, not more than that. Then declaration of the patient. Like what I have told in consent. Written consent we have to take. And any financial support also you have to declare or any financial support you have taken for this publication or for this treatment or for this case report, then you have to mention. If no means you can mention nil. then conflict of interest in both authors. You can, if there is any conflict, means it is the serious issue. So you have to mention only no non-declare or no conflict of interest every time. Then references. So, for example, I have given or I have shown you a article or published article in IJRH. So, what makes a case study valuable? So, not every case is worth publishing, but many are worth documenting also. So, जो cases हम लोग इतने cases देख रहे हैं, तो सारे cases हम लोग publish नहीं कर पा रहे. But you have to document all these cases in a format, in systematic format. So to which case we call a strong case study. So when we are telling that a case study is very strong, that the clear rationale or for remedy choice, honest documentation, improvement as well as failures. If सारे cases में हम लोगों ने improvement दिखाए, failure हम दिखाए नहीं. So if failure will be there, if failure are must have occurred in the case record, then we should show the failures also. If we are giving one medicine and this medicine is not working, so in first visit, second visit, or any follow-ups, so we are changing also. So we can show that one also. This medicine we have given, and this much is not worked, or any no changes in the patient condition. So we have changed, and you have to give the a proper justification for changing the medicine, and use of rarely used specific medicines, well documented follow-ups, and ethical compliance. Ethical compliance means this consent. I have told that we have to take the consent of the patient for publishing this his case, and anonymity means the confidentiality of the patient data. So what I have told, that ethical guideline, it includes the informed consent, written consent, maintain confidentiality of the patient data. Patient data means is personal information, or not the clinical aspect. Avoid exaggeration or unsupported claims, and acknowledge limitations honestly. Like the way, if this is failure or any limitation, then we should acknowledge the in case study. And what are the common mistakes to avoid during a case reporting? So incomplete or subjective documentation, any remedy, just no remedy justification, lack of follow-up, ignoring ethical issues, overuse of technical jargon without clear issues. So this should be avoided during a case report. And where can you publish your case studies? So some examples I have given, journal examples. Indian Journal of Research in Homeopathy, what CCR is publishing. Homeopathic links, International Journal of High Dilution Research, Homeopathy, Alternative and Complementary Therapies, IU Home, International Journal of Ayush Case Reports, International Journal of Homeopathic Science. So there are so many other mm, journals also we can publish. But these are the main journals where we can try to publish our case reports. So, Robert Taylor has told that you can have brilliant ideas, perform a groundbreaking research, write results with great proficiency, but if the paper is not published so that it can be cited, criticized, or praised, all efforts are wasted. So, if we have tried so much, or we have uh, cured one patient by following all these structured format, or a systematic way, if we have not published, or we are not publishing that cases, that it now after publishing, what is have been happening, the citing, criticizing, or praised. So if our case will be praised, everyone will praise the case. It is not that thing, not always it is happening. Only criticize also, so many criticizes also comes. So if we are not publishing, or we don't publish, then all efforts are wasted. So at last, any questions?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for the extensive lecture. And respected participants, if you have any questions, kindly comment in the comment box so that we will be answered by ma'am. Yeah.
Closing my presentation.
Sure, ma'am.
Message also you can ask.
Ma'am, there is a question from the participant, ma'am.
Yes.
They're asking summary of the lecture in short, and can we get the PDF? Like this, they are asking, ma'am. Ma'am, am I audible, ma'am?
Hello.
Am I audible,
Hello.
ma'am? Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, yes. Now audible. The voice broke between between. What
Yes,
he is
ma'am.
asking?
Summary of the lecture in short, and can we get the PDF? One of the participant has asked the question, ma'am.
PDF I have given to you. Na,
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
you can share with them. If PDF means that is presentation, no?
Yes, ma'am.
What I have given in PPT, that is the concise one. So we can anyone wants means you can share with them that PPT.
Sure,
No
sure, ma'am.
issues. And all try to start even writing when if you feel unsure. If we are trying to the how why to publish, we are seeing so many cases. So why to take so much of pain for writing? But don't think that. If you feel unsure, also you start writing, even if you feel not sure of publishing. And what matters is that sincerity of the observation and reasoning and clarity of thought. It also required, and you may begin by documenting the next interesting case you may handle, or whether a common cold or a chronic skin condition what you have cured. And every patient has a story, so your case study is your lens to share that your story with the homeopathic community. So I request, thank you all for your attention, and I hope this session has demystifying the idea of writing case studies for you. Whether
Yes,
you
ma'am.
are in your first year or working on your thesis, or I encourage you to keep observing, documenting, and sharing your thoughts and your case reports. Any research ideas you can share.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, there is a question from the participant, ma'am.
Yes,
The participant is of second year currently, and
yes.
second year PG, ma'am. I want to write research paper. Can please explain, being in second year, what are the things we should keep in mind while writing in any paper? So this is the question, ma'am.
Any paper means what I told that what is a case report. But any paper means which type of paper is he wants to write. Based on his topic, in which subject the student is pursuing MD, repertory, mathematical organ, or practice of medicine, or pediatric, anything. Upon the subject only, it can be decided that which topic or how it will be the research paper can be. First, we have to take the topic. No, we have to take one topic, or we have to select the topic that on this I will write one paper. Paper means which type? Paper means the case study is paper, research protocol is in paper, any research see one thesis they are doing. They must be doing one thesis during their MD courses. So, on the topic of their MD thesis also, they can write in a research paper. Research paper writing, I will tell in another class because there is so much, there are so many things are there, starting from the title up to the references. Process is somewhat different.
Sure, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Soon we will be having one more session, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, a research paper means one more session before we to understand the what is the research protocol, research design. So basically, not only we will give the research at papers how to write.
Definitely, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Any other questions from the participants? They can put in the chat box.
So anyone wants the PDF or any
Ma'am, with your consent, we have given one mail ID,
that
ma'am, of AIHSAYA. So
PPT, then you can share with them. So someone
ha,
asked PDF
de-
format. So we keep it
yeah,
behind. You can
we,
make it PDF and share. Otherwise,
definitely, ma'am. We'll do that, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
okay.
So looking forward for many more sessions, ma'am, because it's a wonderful session today. In spite of the technical issues keeping apart, it is a very wonderful session, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for the participants for
Thank
the active participation also. So stay tuned for the further update for the tomorrow session. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you,
Thank
participants.
you.
And
Thank you, Dr. Ravanya. Thank you, Parik Madam. And like, I think she is not in this call, I think.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay, okay. My special thanks to her and thanks to all the audience and all the students. Thank you. Good
Thank you,
night.
ma'am. Thank you so much.